Hello friends. If you've ever wondered what happens when two of the most magnetic, passionate, and cunning signs collide, welcome to the intoxicating world of Aries Snake and Leo Snake compatibility. This isn't just a love story, it's a study in charisma, fire, and complexity. Both born under the influence of the proud snake in the Chinese zodiac, and ruled by fiery Western signs, Aries and Leo, these two individuals possess a rare blend of raw energy and strategic depth. This combination makes their interactions, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, electric and nuanced. But what lies beneath the surface of this fiery fusion? Let's dive deep into love, marriage, sex, friendship, business partnerships, their shadows, life goals, and ultimately, the long-term forecast for this explosive yet elegant duo. Love. When Aries Snake falls into the orbit of Leo Snake, it's not just a meeting, it's a collision of stars. Sparks don't just fly, they ignite a bonfire that draws everyone's attention. There's an unmistakable magnetism between these two, a raw, kinetic pull that neither fully understands but both are instantly compelled by. Imagine two natural-born leaders locking eyes across a crowded room. Each recognizes the power in the other. Each feels the silent dare, "Can you handle me?" And somehow, the answer is yes. Not easily, not gently, but yes, absolutely. Both Aries and Leo are fire signs, which means this connection is passionate, fearless, and loaded with emotional combustion. But what sets it apart is the snake influence coiling quietly underneath. Snakes in Chinese astrology are seductive strategists. They don't rush into love. They stalk it with precision. That's what makes their romantic dance so dangerously beautiful. It's slow burn intensity cloaked in glamour and control. Aries Snake enters the scene with a bold heart and razor-sharp instincts. They exude an energy that says, "I go after what I want," but unlike other Aries types, the snake side adds layers of restraint and mystique. This is someone who plays to win, but doesn't reveal the full game plan. They tease with confidence and test with fire. On the other hand, Leo Snake is no stranger to attention or power. They walk into a room with the calm elegance of royalty and the quiet confidence of someone who knows they'll be followed. Leo's pride demands recognition, and the snake's grace ensures it. They don't beg for affection, they expect it. But instead of clashing with Aries Snake's boldness, they're intrigued by it. They see a worthy opponent, a brilliant co-star in their personal saga. Leo Snake admires Aries Snake's daring spirit, their refusal to bow, their lightning-bolt intensity. And Aries Snake? They are drawn to Leo Snake's regal mystery, their unshakable self-belief, their seductive strength wrapped in golden warmth. At first, their flirtation is more like a chess match than a fairy tale. Every glance, every word, every silence is strategic. They're sizing each other up, peeking beneath the surface, trying to catch the cracks. Aries Snake might throw in a provocative joke, a bold statement to test Leo Snake's reaction. Leo Snake may respond with a charming smile that says, "Nice try, but you'll need more than that." There's mutual testing, but also mutual respect. Neither is easy to impress, and that's exactly what keeps them coming back. When they finally dive in, when the barriers lower and emotions begin to swirl, things escalate fast. The connection is intoxicating. They crave each other's presence with a hunger that feels both primal and refined. Aries Snake wants to explore, to push emotional and physical boundaries, to feel alive in love. Leo Snake desires to be cherished, but also to rule, a lover who both obeys and challenges, who worships but does not submit. This balance creates a thrilling tension. It's not about dominance, it's about synergy. They understand, instinctively, that love is a stage, but it doesn't make it fake. To them, performance doesn't diminish reality, it enhances it. Aries Snake wants love that burns fast and deep. Leo Snake wants love that dazzles and endures. Together, they blend the two into a passionate spectacle of devotion, pride, and intensity. Date nights are dramatic, arguments are theatrical, makeups are cinematic. They're the couple others can't stop watching. Not just because of how they look together, but because of what they radiate, unstoppable energy and shared ambition. And yet, beneath the glittering surface, there's something much deeper. The snake archetype in both of them craves control and security. Neither trusts easily, no matter how confident they appear. That's what makes this love so compelling. It's not just fire and charm. It's layered with emotional calculation, a mutual dance of letting go and holding back. They're cautious lovers in disguise. Each is waiting to see if the other will betray the dream. But if trust is earned, if vulnerability is met with tenderness instead of critique, they are capable of incredible loyalty. Aries Snake loves with urgency. Leo Snake loves with grandeur. Their romance is epic, filled with sweeping gestures, whispered secrets, silent tests, and moments of raw honesty. They may compete at times, for attention, for leadership, for emotional dominance, but they're never bored. And for both of them, that's everything. They're lovers who create legends, not just memories. Theirs is a love written in bold ink and gold dust, marked by electric attraction and a mutual refusal to settle for ordinary. When these two commit, they don't just build a relationship, they build a kingdom. But make no mistake, love between Aries Snake and Leo Snake isn't for the faint of heart. It's a roaring fire in a velvet-wrapped chamber, always teetering between passion and pride, devotion and ego. Yet if they manage to honor each other's strength while softening each other's defenses, they become more than compatible, they become unforgettable. Marriage. Marrying an Aries Snake or Leo Snake isn't simply an emotional commitment, it's a declaration of intent. It's not just about love, it's about legacy. For both of these powerful personalities, marriage isn't a romantic escape. It's a bold alliance built on ambition, vision, and the unwavering belief that together, they can conquer anything. These two don't dream of fairy tales. They dream of empires, of building a life that dazzles, not only in appearance but in substance. When an Aries Snake and a Leo Snake say, "I do," they're not just promising love, they're pledging loyalty to a shared kingdom. Each partner brings their own fire to the marriage. Aries Snake arrives with determination and an insatiable need to move forward. They hate stagnation, loathe complacency, and thrive on constant momentum. They're impatient in love, yes, but that impatience fuels growth. They want a partner who moves with them, evolves with them, pushes with the same intensity. Leo Snake, on the other hand, enters the marriage with poise, pride, and a commanding sense of loyalty. They crave emotional security and the quiet comfort of being cherished, respected, and admired. Unlike Aries Snake, they don't need speed, they need reverence. The snake in both adds another layer: caution, calculation, elegance, and a deep, almost instinctual need for privacy and preservation. Neither Aries Snake nor Leo Snake will allow their marriage to be a public spectacle of failure. To them, marriage is sacred because it reflects who they are: ambitious, proud, and dignified. That's why they work so hard to protect it. If problems arise, they're unlikely to seek sympathy from outsiders. They handle their issues behind closed doors, as a team or, sometimes, as tactical opponents trying to outmaneuver each other emotionally. In many cases, their marriage evolves into a true partnership of power. They don't always do things the traditional way, but they develop a rhythm that works. Aries Snake often becomes the initiator, the spark, the force that drives progress and reinvention. Whether it's career shifts, home changes, or financial ventures, Aries Snake brings energy and daring. Leo Snake, meanwhile, becomes the steady hand behind the throne. They are the master of image, tact, and long-term vision. While Aries Snake builds the machine, Leo Snake makes sure it shines. It's not unusual for this couple to cultivate a lifestyle that reflects their combined drive: elevated, elegant, and aspirational. They enjoy luxury, not for indulgence's sake, but as a symbol of success. The home is stylish, curated, and possibly dramatic. Socially, they're admired. People see them as that couple, poised, powerful, and perpetually on the rise. But beneath the glamour lies a complex emotional structure. These are two people who demand a lot, not just from each other, but from themselves. Aries Snake, for all their independence, seeks a partner who validates their passions and matches their momentum. They need space, but also connection. If Leo Snake becomes too emotionally rigid or controlling, Aries Snake may feel caged. Conversely, Leo Snake needs constant loyalty and appreciation. If Aries Snake grows distant or dismissive, Leo Snake can slip into sulking or passive-aggressive behaviors. Their egos are large, their pride substantial, and emotional wounds tend to scar deeply. That's why communication isn't just important, it's crucial. When conflict arises, and it will, they don't fight small. Arguments can be theatrical, symbolic, and sometimes ruthless. Neither likes to lose, neither likes to be wrong. The snake element ensures that even in love, there are strategies at play. Aries Snake may strike with impulsive words. Leo Snake may withdraw into icy silence. They'll each test the other's patience and devotion. But what pulls them back from the edge is something rare: mutual awe. Even in anger, they respect each other's strength. With emotional maturity, their marriage becomes ironclad. Time teaches them when to yield, when to push, when to stand down, and when to fight for the partnership. They learn that power doesn't have to be won, it can be shared. And when they finally reach that state of balance, when pride no longer overshadows intimacy, they create a relationship that's nearly untouchable. They defend each other fiercely. They champion each other's dreams. And they become the kind of couple that not only survives the years but defines them. Still, this type of marriage isn't built overnight. It's forged in fire, cooled in trust, and polished with effort. They must actively protect their connection from becoming a battleground of egos. They must learn that silence isn't strength and that vulnerability isn't weakness. When they do, the result is extraordinary. Their bond becomes a fortress, regal, resilient, and alive with passion. It doesn't crumble under pressure, it absorbs it and grows stronger. And for Aries Snake and Leo Snake, nothing is more satisfying than winning, especially when they win together. Sex. Sex between Aries Snake and Leo Snake is not just an act, it's a spectacle. It's not simply about passion or connection, though those are certainly present. This union is a magnetic tangle of fire, intellect, and control. It's velvet and steel, desire and dominance, tension and surrender all rolled into one hypnotic current. These two don't just meet in the physical realm, they collide in a heady, almost cinematic way, creating a sexual bond that blurs the line between the carnal and the cerebral. It's never casual, it's never forgettable, it's a power play cloaked in silk. Both Aries and Leo are fire signs, which means that sex is never just sex for them. It's an expression of their identity, their dominance, their worth. They make love with intention, bold, proud, unapologetic. Add in the snake element, and the intensity deepens. Snakes in Chinese astrology are known for their sensuality, but not in an overt or crude way. It's a slow, calculated kind of seduction. They thrive on anticipation, on mystery, on unveiling layers of desire, one glance, one whisper, one breath at a time. Together, Aries Snake and Leo Snake become masters of emotional and physical choreography, making their sexual connection both primal and poetic. Aries Snake often initiates. There's something volcanic about their energy, an impulsive hunger that needs to be fed. They are bold, adventurous, and always eager to push boundaries. They want to feel dominant in the bedroom, not necessarily through control, but through the power of their passion. They bring heat, spontaneity, and physical stamina, always looking to elevate the experience, always striving to leave a lasting impression. They don't just want sex, they want impact. To them, desire is a challenge and satisfaction is a conquest. Leo Snake, on the other hand, is no less passionate, but they approach sex with a different kind of gravity. They don't rush, they seduce with a regal stillness, a magnetism that draws their partner in like gravity itself. Their sexuality is wrapped in confidence and elegance. They want to be admired, adored, worshipped even, not out of vanity, but because their identity is entwined with being cherished. In their world, sex is sacred, intimate, a theater of pleasure where they are both the star and the temple. They want their partner to earn access, to prove their worth, and to linger in awe. This difference in approach doesn't divide them, it fuses them. Aries Snake comes in hot, and Leo Snake receives with a slow burning fire. Aries pushes forward, Leo pulls them in. One is the spark, the other the flame. Their rhythm becomes a dance of give and take, command and surrender, always shifting, always evolving. Neither fully dominates, and that's the key. They're both strong enough to challenge each other, confident enough to please each other, and intuitive enough to know when to lead and when to follow. What makes this sexual connection truly extraordinary is the snake essence they share. Both possess an uncanny awareness of emotional undercurrents. They sense tension, vulnerability, desire, without a word being spoken. This gives their intimacy a rich, psychological layer. They don't just touch the body, they touch the soul. They know how to use silence, eye contact, breath, and space to build anticipation. Their bedroom becomes a sacred space where roles are fluid, fantasies are explored, and secrets unfold slowly. It's a kind of erotic intimacy that goes far beyond the physical. It's emotional chess in silk sheets. But no relationship is immune to conflict, and when Aries Snake and Leo Snake struggle outside the bedroom, it often bleeds into their sexual world. Both have strong egos and fierce emotional pride. If there's unresolved tension, betrayal, criticism, or a bruised sense of control, intimacy can suffer. Leo Snake may withhold affection as a form of silent protest. Aries Snake may grow restless and distant, unable to perform emotionally or physically when their pride is wounded. They both need to feel safe to be vulnerable. They both need admiration and respect. Without that emotional foundation, their powerful chemistry can fade into cold silence. However, when the relationship is stable, their sex life only grows more powerful with time. As trust deepens, so does experimentation. As emotional safety expands, so does vulnerability. Their bedroom becomes a sanctuary of exploration, where physicality meets philosophy, where lust meets loyalty. They may not be the kind of couple that talks endlessly about feelings, but in their private, intimate world, they say more with a touch than most do with paragraphs. Sex for Aries Snake and Leo Snake is also deeply tied to their identity as a couple. It's not just about pleasure, it's about status, chemistry, and power. They want to feel unique in each other's arms. They want to believe that no one else could ever match what they have together. And often, they're right. Few lovers could keep up with their passion, their depth, their intricate dance of desire and pride. In the best-case scenario, their sex life becomes the emotional heartbeat of their relationship. It recharges them, bonds them, and gives them a space where they are completely themselves, fiery, proud, and raw. It's not just lust, it's love in flames. But to maintain this, they must remember that their connection requires balance. Power must be shared, praise must be given, vulnerability must be safe. If they manage that, then what they create together is nothing short of alchemy, transformative, beautiful, and eternal. Theirs is not a love story of quiet nights and tender sighs. It's a tale of passion lit by starlight and carried by thunder. It's seductive, unforgettable, and fiercely alive. Friendship. Friendship between Aries Snake and Leo Snake is not something ordinary. It's a union that either elevates both individuals to new heights, or detonates in a blaze of rivalry and pride. There is very little middle ground between them, because they are not middle ground people. Both are strong-willed, magnetic, and fiercely intelligent, and when they enter each other's lives as friends, the connection is instantly electric. It's like meeting a mirrored flame. There's recognition, admiration, and a subtle challenge built into every interaction. Each sees in the other what they see in themselves: a master of charm, a strategist, a leader, and someone who will not, under any circumstances, settle for less than excellence. When these two click, it's magnetic. It feels fated, like the stars aligned just so they could form a partnership destined for unforgettable moments. They bond over shared passions, ambition, taste, legacy, success, and they fuel each other's desire for more. Aries Snake brings boldness and spontaneous excitement to the table. They're the friend who makes you book a trip on impulse, start a project you didn't think you were ready for, or walk into a room like you own it. Leo Snake responds with grand energy and regal warmth. They're the friend who makes everything feel just a little more elevated, more luxurious, more meaningful, more impressive. Together, They are a duo that exudes effortless cool. People notice them. People want to be around them. Their dynamic is magnetic, high voltage, and unforgettable. Both are natural leaders, but their styles differ in ways that often complement rather than compete, at least when they're in sync. Aries Snake is quick, impulsive, fiercely direct. Leo Snake is calculating, poised, and deliberate. Aries Snake says, "Let's do it now." Leo Snake says, "Let's do it right." This yin and yang can be incredibly powerful. Aries Snake pushes Leo out of their comfort zone and dares them to act without a 10-step plan. Leo Snake shows Aries the beauty of refinement and long-term vision. As friends, they balance each other out. One provides the fuel, the other the direction. They are also united by their deep appreciation for beauty and brilliance. They love the finer things: excellent cuisine, high fashion, luxurious spaces, intellectual conversation, and unforgettable adventures. Friendship to them isn't just occasional text messages or casual dinners. It's curated experiences, meaningful dialogue, and loyalty that feels sacred. They're the pair who travel first class, debate philosophy over wine, and throw dinner parties that feel like scenes from a movie. Time spent together feels expansive, memorable, and high value. They don't just have fun, they create moments worth remembering. But where there is fire, there's always the risk of a burn. The same qualities that make their friendship thrilling also make it combustible. Both Aries Snake and Leo Snake have strong egos, and neither is inclined to back down when conflict arises. They are used to being in charge, to being admired, to being right. So when their paths cross too closely or when ambitions overlap, competition can seep in. It's rarely overt, but it's there, just under the surface. A passive-aggressive comment, a silent comparison, a moment where one feels outshined. Jealousy is rarely admitted, but it can manifest in subtle rivalries. Aries Snake may resent Leo's need to dominate social situations. Leo Snake may grow irritated with Aries' unpredictability and attention-grabbing spontaneity. If left unchecked, these small slights can build into larger resentments. And because both pride themselves on emotional self-control, they may never address the issue directly. Instead, tension builds, and the once seamless friendship starts to show invisible fractures. The saving grace, however, is the snake in both of them. While fire signs may lash out impulsively, the snake adds a layer of emotional intelligence, of calculation, of pause. They're able to reflect, to pull back from the brink, to remember what the friendship gives them. If both are mature, and if the bond is built on true admiration, then they'll choose loyalty over ego. They'll recognize that their differences are strengths, not threats, that they can both shine without dimming the other. When that realization hits, their friendship becomes almost unbreakable. Because beyond the glamour and charisma, they understand each other in a way few others can. They both carry ambition like armor. They both use charm as strategy. They both crave a kind of success that most people don't even dare to dream about. And in each other, they find someone who not only gets it, but lives it too. They become co-conspirators in greatness. Aries Snake brings the spark, Leo Snake fans the flame. They challenge each other constantly, but lovingly. They brainstorm business ideas, dream about futures filled with influence and luxury, and hype each other up like a private fan club. If either is doubted by the world, the other is their fiercest advocate. They may not always express emotions openly, but the loyalty runs deep. It's in the check-ins before the big event. It's in the quiet congratulations when success hits. It's in the way they never, ever let anyone speak badly about the other in their presence. When these two become friends and survive the initial ego adjustments, the bond they create is elite. It's the kind of friendship that looks good on the outside and feels even better on the inside, one that's built on deep respect, shared experiences, and an unspoken agreement to rise together. They may drift occasionally, caught up in their own individual pursuits, but the connection remains unshaken. When they reconnect, it's as if no time has passed. Their fire is still there. Their understanding is intact. Their loyalty is unspoken but absolute. In the end, the friendship between Aries Snake and Leo Snake is one of the most dynamic, glamorous, and growth-inducing pairings in the zodiac universe. It's a rare bond forged in admiration, tested by pride, and fortified by mutual ambition. Together, they shine brighter. And neither of them ever forgets that. Business. In the realm of business, the partnership between an Aries Snake and a Leo Snake is nothing short of electric. These two aren't just colleagues, they're visionaries, catalysts, empire builders. When aligned, they form one of the most powerful, dynamic, and magnetic duos imaginable. Both operate with a natural authority and charisma that commands respect. Both are fiercely driven by a desire not just to succeed, but to stand out, to dominate their industry, redefine the rules, and leave a legacy that others will envy and study for years. This is not a duo content with mediocrity. They are here to build kingdoms with their names engraved in gold. Aries Snake is the live wire in this collaboration. Their style is direct, energetic, and full of urgency. They bring innovation to the table, ideas that are fresh, bold, and often risky, but exhilarating. Their mind never rests. They're constantly looking for ways to optimize, pivot, disrupt. What sets the Aries Snake apart from a typical Aries is the snake's strategic undertone. They are not chaotic dreamers. Their fire is focused, their ambition calculated. They move quickly, yes, but always with a clear intent and a sharp awareness of timing, optics, and consequence. Leo Snake, in contrast, is all about long-term impact and leadership presence. Where Aries Snake is the spark, Leo Snake is the flame that keeps burning. They understand the importance of narrative, image, and influence. They are natural-born leaders who inspire loyalty, organize teams, and build brands with a regal touch. Every move they make is measured and elevated. The Leo Snake doesn't rush, because they don't need to. They know their power, they know their worth, and when they enter a room, they command it, not through volume, but through presence. In business, they are masters of perception, reputation, and long-game thinking. The snake influence in both of them gives this duo an edge that few can match. These aren't impulsive entrepreneurs who dive without looking. They're chess players, each is 5 steps ahead, reading the board, anticipating moves, and executing plans with finesse. Their instincts are sharp. Their ability to assess markets, competitors, and risks is uncanny. They don't just think tactically, they think symbolically. They understand the value of timing, silence, and subtle moves. Whether they're negotiating a deal, planning a launch, or crafting a marketing campaign, they move with the precision of predators and the elegance of royalty. They also know how to present themselves. Both Aries Snake and Leo Snake are polished, articulate, and persuasive. They know how to win people over, not through manipulation, but through confidence and vision. Aries Snake dazzles with enthusiasm and clarity of purpose. Leo Snake captivates with charisma and controlled intensity. In meetings, pitches, or networking events, they become a dynamic force that others remember and admire. They don't just talk about ideas, they make others believe in them. Their complementary strengths can create a perfect balance, if the partnership is built on mutual respect and clearly defined roles. Aries Snake thrives when allowed to take charge of momentum. Give them the reins to ideate, initiate, and accelerate. Let them drive product development, creative strategy, or anything that demands fast, confident decision-making. Leo Snake, meanwhile, excels when steering the vision. They're at their best managing the brand, cultivating investor relationships, building culture, and ensuring the business not only scales, but shines while doing so. Together, they can launch high-impact ventures, transform industries, and build teams that reflect their standards of excellence. Whether it's fashion, tech, entertainment, finance, or media, they bring style, strategy, and substance. Their ventures aren't just successful, they're iconic. But the very qualities that make them brilliant collaborators can also become pressure points. The danger lies in the shadows of pride and power. Both are natural leaders, both want credit, and both believe in their own superiority. If these forces aren't carefully managed, tension can simmer beneath the surface. If Aries Snake feels stifled by Leo Snake's need to oversee and polish every detail, resentment may grow. If Leo Snake feels overshadowed by Aries Snake's impulsive spotlight grabbing, withdrawal or passive power moves may follow. Power struggles can erupt in subtle but destructive ways. Passive-aggressive communication, credit stealing, second-guessing decisions, or jockeying for public visibility can slowly erode the foundation of trust. And when trust erodes in a business built on vision and ambition, the fallout can be dramatic. Projects stall, teams lose morale, the empire starts to wobble. Because for all their strategic intelligence, neither is quick to admit fault. Their pride can become a wall instead of a bridge. And that is the single greatest risk in this pairing, ego over execution. The solution? Clear boundaries, ongoing transparency, and shared recognition. From the outset, both must agree on the vision, the chain of command, and how success will be measured and celebrated. Aries Snake needs room to innovate without micromanagement. Leo Snake needs to feel their leadership is valued and their aesthetic is respected. They must communicate openly, especially when conflict arises. Silence becomes poison between them. But when addressed with maturity, those very disagreements can lead to breakthroughs. Because neither of them wants to lose, they want to win together. If they can keep their egos in check, the rewards are enormous. They become a business powerhouse, a legendary team known for pushing boundaries, setting trends, and creating success stories that others only dream of. They don't just follow the market, they lead it. They're not just building wealth, they're building a legacy. And the best part? Working together doesn't just enrich their bank accounts, it enriches their personal growth. Aries Snake learns the power of polish, patience, and vision. Leo Snake learns the value of agility, speed, and risk. They teach each other, challenge each other, and, when in sync, elevate each other to a level neither could reach alone. In business, Aries Snake and Leo Snake are not just partners. They are forces, strategic, stylish, unstoppable forces who don't just succeed, they redefine what success looks like. Dark sides. Every great flame casts a long shadow, and the connection between an Aries Snake and a Leo Snake, for all its brilliance, charisma, and magnetic force, is no different. These two are dazzling on the surface, driven, elegant, and full of fire, but underneath the charm lies a terrain that is far more complicated, far more volatile. When the darker sides of their personalities begin to surface, the relationship can veer from power couple to psychological battlefield in a matter of moments. At their core, both Aries Snake and Leo Snake carry a pride that borders on untouchable. Aries Snake, fueled by Mars and guided by the snake's cunning, has an almost compulsive need to lead, to win, to dominate. When they feel outshined or underestimated, their reaction isn't always overt. Instead of shouting or begging for attention, they get cold, calculating. They become the strategist in the shadows, quietly gathering intel, analyzing weaknesses, and planning their next move with surgical precision. They may play nice on the outside while already setting emotional traps, ensuring they'll regain control later. Their anger simmers, it doesn't explode. Leo Snake's dark side is rooted in their fixation with status, self-worth, and appearance. When they feel adored, they shine like the sun. But when that adoration fades, even slightly, they begin to unravel internally. The snake influence gives Leo a tendency toward emotional concealment. They won't throw tantrums or demand attention. Instead, they become quietly judgmental, overly proud, and deeply aloof. Their need to preserve dignity can lead them to withdraw affection, withhold communication, or create emotional distance as a form of punishment. It's not that they don't feel deeply, they do. But they'd rather suffer in silence than admit vulnerability. They'd rather appear composed than confess pain. When these dark traits collide in a relationship, it creates a psychological chess game. Both partners are brilliant at hiding their wounds. Neither wants to appear weak. Aries Snake might manipulate the energy in the room by using silence as a weapon. Leo Snake might retreat into an emotional tower, becoming untouchable, unreadable. This lack of transparency quickly builds walls between them, thick walls made of unspoken resentments, imagined betrayals, and passive-aggressive behaviors. Control becomes the battleground. Aries Snake tries to control by outsmarting, staying 2 steps ahead emotionally. They analyze everything: tone, body language, timing. They might become pushy, even aggressive, in their quest to reclaim dominance. Leo Snake, meanwhile, asserts control by becoming emotionally unavailable, selectively responsive, or grandiose in behavior. They may pretend everything is fine, while quietly punishing their partner with icy distance and private judgment. Their inner motto becomes, "I'll never let you see me sweat." Jealousy is another potential poison in this dynamic. Both Aries Snake and Leo Snake are used to being admired. Both know how to turn heads. But when one perceives the other receiving more praise, attention, or power, especially in social or professional settings, jealousy may emerge like a slow-burning fuse. Unlike open envy, this is a jealousy that hides behind pride. Aries Snake may downplay Leo's success, subtly question their methods, or suddenly focus their charm on someone else to restore balance. Leo Snake might feign indifference, but deep down, the perceived slight stings. Instead of addressing it, they store it away, for later. Another major danger is emotional coldness. When both snakes feel threatened, they can become clinical, almost reptilian, in their detachment. It's not that they stop caring. It's that they protect themselves by withdrawing emotionally. They may stop sharing details, stop offering affection, stop reaching out. This slow erosion of intimacy can go unnoticed at first, but over time, it turns into a desert between them, a vast, silent place where passion once lived. The worst part? Both are so concerned with saving face that they might let the relationship wither before daring to admit they're hurting. The image-conscious nature of this pairing makes the situation more complex. Aries Snake and Leo Snake care deeply about how others see them, not just as individuals, but as a couple. They want to appear strong, sexy, successful. They want people to say, they're perfect together. And so, when cracks begin to form, they don't always seek help or speak honestly. Instead, they perform. They keep smiling in public while unraveling in private. They maintain the illusion, thinking it's strength. But this denial only deepens the divide. These shadows are not permanent states, but they are serious challenges. And unless addressed, they can consume the connection. The root of all these problems is a shared fear, vulnerability. Neither Aries Snake nor Leo Snake wants to be seen as fragile, needy, or uncertain. Both are terrified of being exposed emotionally. But ironically, that's exactly what will save them. The only antidote to these dark sides is conscious vulnerability. Aries Snake must learn that strength isn't in always being right, it's in being real. They must be willing to say, "That hurt me," without dressing it in sarcasm or strategy. Leo Snake must accept that love isn't about perfection, it's about presence. They must find the courage to say, "I'm scared you don't love me anymore," instead of icing over. This level of openness won't come naturally. It will feel uncomfortable, even dangerous, at first. But if they can both commit to honest communication, to listening without defending, to expressing without blaming, they will discover an intimacy deeper than anything they imagined. Their emotional intelligence, once weaponized for power, can be redirected toward healing. Their strategic minds, once used for control, can be used to create a shared foundation that feels unshakable. And when they learn to integrate their shadows, when they no longer fear being seen in their worst moments, they become unstoppable. Because now their love isn't just fiery and impressive, it's real. It's raw, it's rooted, and from that place, even the darkest nights between them become moments of transformation, not destruction. But make no mistake, the journey through these dark sides is not for the faint of heart. It requires bravery, not the flashy kind, but the quiet kind. The kind that shows up when no one's watching. The kind that whispers, "I'll stay," even when it's hard. If Aries Snake and Leo Snake can find that kind of courage within themselves, and each other, then their shadows will no longer be enemies. They'll be teachers, and together, they'll not only survive the dark, they'll redefine what light means. Life goals. When you pair two souls as driven as the Aries snake and the Leo snake, you're not dealing with ordinary ambition. You're dealing with purpose that pulses in their blood, a vision that haunts their dreams, and a relentless hunger for greatness that refuses to be silenced. These are not characters who drift through life. These are individuals born to shape it. The Aries snake, at their core, is a pioneer. They are not content to follow paths, they must blaze their own. Fueled by Aries' fiery instinct and amplified by the snake's strategic depth, this person has a relentless urge to challenge the status quo. They dream of doing what's never been done before, not for applause, but to prove that they can. There's a competitiveness here that borders on spiritual. They don't just want to win, they need to prove they were always meant to. Whether it's inventing a groundbreaking product, launching a revolutionary brand, or becoming a cultural icon, Aries snake sets goals that most wouldn't dare to whisper aloud. But this isn't just wild energy without direction. Thanks to the snake's presence, Aries snake also has the cunning to execute what might seem impossible. They'll build business plans, research competitors, study markets, all while maintaining an air of cool confidence. Their passion is wrapped in polish. They want prestige, yes, but they want it earned. They don't just chase independence, they architect it, brick by brick, moment by moment. And perhaps above all else, they seek to leave a legacy that echoes. They want their name attached to something enduring, something that matters. On the other hand, the Leo snake has a different kind of magnetism. If Aries snake is the fire starter, Leo snake is the beacon. Their life goals aren't just about winning, they're about inspiring. Leo snake wants to lead from the front, to be admired, followed, and remembered, but never for shallow reasons. There is heart behind their ambition. They want to uplift others through their success, to be the proof that greatness is possible and to bring others along for the ride. The snake influence tempers Leo's flair with foresight. Leo snake doesn't rush, they calculate. They're investors in the truest sense, of time, of relationships, of energy. They look at the long arc of their story and plan accordingly. They may build empires, raise dynasties, or start movements, but everything they do is carefully thought out, timed for maximum impact. They seek a kingdom, yes, but not one made of smoke and mirrors. Their empire must be meaningful. Now, when these two forces collide, Aries snake and Leo snake, the potential for collaboration on life goals becomes breathtaking. Imagine two powerhouses, one a trailblazing initiator, the other a visionary nurturer. If they align, they are capable of achieving the kind of success that shifts industries, changes culture, or shapes future generations. They can be the entrepreneurial couple launching a global brand. They can be the dynamic creatives building a production studio that redefines entertainment. They can be parents raising fiercely intelligent children with confidence and emotional intelligence. The possibilities are endless. But here's the trick, alignment is everything. If they share a mission, something both can pour their hearts into, they become unstoppable. Aries snake supplies the speed and innovation. Leo snake adds structure and soul. Together, they are both the spark and the flame, the dream and the follow-through. They inspire each other not by similarity, but by how well their strengths balance. They don't just build together, they elevate each other while doing it. However, when their goals diverge, trouble arises. If Aries snake decides to drop everything and chase an adrenaline-fueled adventure in another country while Leo snake wants to lay foundations and establish roots, tension is inevitable. Aries snake might view Leo snake as too cautious, too controlling, too attached to image. Leo snake might see Aries snake as reckless, impatient, or emotionally unavailable. Even when the love is strong, a mismatch in purpose can chip away at the connection. Another danger is ego conflict. Both of these signs are used to steering their own ships. If neither is willing to compromise, they may find themselves in a cold war of ambition, each succeeding but growing apart. Aries snake might prioritize personal glory, while Leo snake seeks shared recognition. If they don't communicate and realign, the gap between their dreams becomes a chasm neither wants to cross. Still, the beauty of this pairing is that both possess the intelligence, maturity, and emotional awareness to recognize when they're drifting. When they do, they can course correct. Aries Snake can learn to slow down, to see the value in Leo's need for legacy and stability. Leo Snake can learn to loosen their grip, to embrace Aries' call to explore and evolve. With mutual respect, they begin to build a life where both feel seen, heard, and empowered. One of their most powerful shared life goals can be the pursuit of excellence itself. Neither of them does mediocre. Whether they're building a company, curating a home, raising children, or traveling the world, they want to do it with style, depth, and a touch of drama. They aren't interested in simple success, they want significance. Their life together isn't just about milestones, it's about meaning. About making sure that every chapter is bold, beautiful, and unforgettable. They also both understand the art of reinvention. The snake in each of them craves growth, evolution, rebirth. They are not static people, and neither is their vision. Over time, their goals will change, and that's okay. What matters is that they grow together. That they keep checking in, keep dreaming forward, and keep saying, what do we build next? It's this forward motion, this shared hunger for more, that keeps the relationship electric. At their best, Aries Snake and Leo Snake are the type of couple you write books about. The kind that doesn't just chase dreams, they build them from scratch and invite the world to take notice. But the real triumph isn't the success, it's the synergy. When their individual visions become one, when they stop competing and start collaborating, they become not just lovers or partners, they become legends. And together, they create a life that's not only powerful, but purposeful. Final thoughts. The compatibility between Aries Snake and Leo Snake is not a quiet story. It's not the kind of love or partnership that fades gently into the background. No, this is a connection that arrives like a thunderclap and burns like a meteor across the night sky. It's brilliant, it's volatile, and it's unforgettable. Both signs are imbued with fire, not just in the elemental sense of Aries and Leo, but in the symbolic sense of energy, pride, vitality, and boldness. These are people born to stand out, not just because they want attention, though let's be honest, they enjoy it, but because they genuinely have something to offer. They radiate charisma, intellect, and intensity. Add the snake influence to both, and suddenly that fire is encased in mystery, elegance, and emotional depth. What you get is a rare blend of heat and calculation, passion and poise, desire and discipline. This makes their bond unlike most. Aries Snake and Leo Snake don't just fall into relationships or collaborations, they are drawn to each other like two stars in the same orbit, recognizing the unique power the other holds. It's a connection that runs deep, often instantly. When their eyes meet, there's a flash of recognition, you're like me, and in a world where both often feel misunderstood or unmatched, that feeling can be intoxicating. But it's not easy. They are both powerful personalities, and power never comes without a price. Each has their own drive, ego, and definition of success. Aries Snake wants to charge ahead, to create, to test limits and leave a blazing trail. Leo Snake wants to command, to captivate, to build something lasting that carries their name forward. When their goals align, they become an empire. But when they don't, when their desires clash or their egos swell, they can tear each other down with the same fire they once used to build each other up. That's the paradox of this pairing. The same traits that make them so electric, confidence, independence, intensity, can also become their downfall. If trust falters or communication breaks, they can become cold, strategic adversaries. They don't usually fight loudly, they fight with silence, with strategy, with withdrawal. Each knows how to wound without raising their voice. Each knows how to walk away looking like the one who's still in control. The pride runs deep. And yet, even in conflict, there is fascination. Even in distance, there's gravity. The memory of what they once shared, or what they might still become, pulls at them like a song they can't stop hearing. Because underneath the bravado and the strategy, they care. Deeply, more than they'll often admit. These are not casual souls. When Aries Snake and Leo Snake choose someone, they do it with the full force of who they are. And they don't forget. If they can learn to soften, just a little, everything changes. If Aries Snake can slow down and listen, If Leo Snake can loosen the reins and trust, they can move past ego and into intimacy. If they can sit with discomfort instead of hiding behind charm or control, they'll find something rare, a connection that doesn't just burn bright but lasts. A relationship that challenges them to grow while still celebrating who they are. And what they are is exceptional. Together, Aries Snake and Leo Snake can create a life that others envy and admire. A life that's full of beauty, adventure, passion, and purpose. They can be lovers who never stop desiring each other, friends who challenge and uplift, business partners who turn ideas into empires, co-creators of a legacy that outlives them both. Even if they only cross paths for a moment, that moment has weight. The connection echoes, it transforms, it wakes something up. They inspire each other to dream bigger, act bolder, and risk more, for love, for vision, for the life they want to live. If you were part of this pairing, or lucky enough to witness it, don't look away. Watch closely, because what unfolds between an Aries Snake and a Leo Snake is not just a relationship. It's a masterpiece in motion, flawed, fearless, unforgettable. Fireworks are only the beginning. The true story is written in how they rise, fall, and rise again, together or apart, but always burning brighter than the rest.